Hey there, I'm Chris Carl. Welcome to the podcast, Highways and Byways. This week, a story from my childhood. What happened in Texas in 1941. And let's see here. Texas roadside attraction, a ghost story from Texas, and a Texas sports legend. How y'all doing? Well, I had to take my SUV in for an oil change last Thursday. I meant to take it in Wednesday, and I took it over to the dealership on Wednesday. It turned out I made the appointment for Friday, but I have to work on Fridays. So I rescheduled it for the next day at the Auto Care Center at Walmart, and got it done there on a Thursday. After that, I went and ate at Panera Bread. I had a Chipotle avocado melt. I worked Friday through Tuesday. I ran some errands on Wednesday, and also ate at Scores Pizza and Wings in Belton. I had 6 boneless Cajun wings dipped in ranch with potato wedgies. Anyway, let's take a look at what happened in Texas in the year 1941. The first Dickey's Barbecue Pit restaurant opened in Dallas. Also in Dallas, radio station AM 660 KSKY went on the air. Texas A&M beat Fordham in the 1941 Cotton Bowl, and they finished the 1940 season ranked number 6. In the 1941 college football season, North Texas State won the Lone Star Conference. Prairie View lost to Kentucky State in the Prairie View Bowl. Texas A&I won the Alamo Conference Championship. Texas A&M won the Southwest Conference Championship. And Texas Tech lost to Tulsa in the 1941 Sun Bowl game. They weren't in the Southwest Conference back then. They wouldn't join until the late 50s, early 60s. Now there's a Texas roadside attraction. It's a place called Dinosaur Park in Cedar Park. I guess it's around Austin. It has the 512 area code. Back in the day, the 512 area code used to go into Rockdale. And in Rosebud, which is in the Temple Waco area where I grew up, 817, which also went up to Dallas. Then, of course, Houston area was 713. Anyway, it's open Wednesday through Sundays. It has from 10 o'clock in the morning to 4 in the afternoon. It's a outdoor museum which shows realistic life-size dinosaur statues, which show how they really looked. They range from the 2-foot Compsognathus to the 123-foot Diplodocus, one of the longest dinosaurs that ever lived. And you walk along a tree-lined nature trail, and the dinosaurs are set up back from the trail among the plants, the rocks, and the trees. That makes it easy for you to imagine the dinosaurs as they looked in their natural environment. It's an educational and fun place, and they also have a fossil dig, a playground, a picnic area, and a store to get souvenirs. Now the Texas ghost story. It's about the museum ship, the U.S.S. Lexington, which is docked in Corpus Christi. It served for over 50 years and saw action in World War II in the Pacific Theater. It was hit by a torpedo in 1943 and then by a kamikaze attack in 1944. Nine men were killed on it in the torpedo attack, and 47 were killed in the kamikaze attack. Folks who have visited the ship have said they've been taken on a tour by a young man dressed in a Navy uniform, but when they told another worker at the museum, they were told that the ship doesn't have tour guides. Which means the ship is haunted by the sailor who was one of the men killed in the torpedo attack. and also by the those who were lost in the kamikaze attack. Other encounters people have had have been one where a man who was a military historian who apparently has psychic abilities felt a sense of sadness as he walked around one section of the ship. He looked in the empty pilot's ready room and took a picture, and when he got the film back, there was the image of a head of a man wearing the helmet and goggles from that era. The face was that of a skull. The museum's assistant curator told an author of the book Best Tales of Texas Ghosts that he had heard clanging coming from the area close to the ship's former radio station. And on one night, he found water all over the ship. Others have said they've heard voices around the ship. And now a Texas sports legend. Race car driver A.J. Foyt from Houston. He is a legend in IndyCar racing and also raced in NASCAR. He won the Indianapolis 500 4 times and also won the 1972 Daytona 500, as well as the 24 Hours at Le Mans in 1967. He retired in 1993. He's now almost 90, and after he retired, he became a car owner. His grandson did some racing as well. He was named the driver of the 20th century, an honor he shared with Mario Andretti. In fact, A.J. Foyt was one of the first sports people I remember hearing of. Now here's a story and a lesson from my childhood. Back when I was living in Houston, I was like 4 or 5. We went over, me and my mom and my dad, my parents were still married at the time, and we went over to my grandparents' house in just outside the city where they lived. My grandpa worked at Hughes Tool. Anyway, I think some other relatives were there. I'm not exactly sure which ones. Maybe not an uncle or cousins, maybe. Anyway, when we were eating, I asked to be excused to use the restroom. So when I used the bathroom on the way out, I walked by my grandparents' bedroom, and I happened to see my grandma's purse laying there on the bed. And like any 4 or 5-year-old, I was curious about what was inside it. So I opened it and started looking through it. And then my dad caught me looking through it and said, "Get out of there." And took me in the back in the kitchen, the dining area, and told me what I had done. They told me not to get in Granny's purse because she had medicine in there. Valuable lesson to learn. Well, before I go, here's a quote from a well-known Texan. It's from actress Sissy Spacek. She played Loretta Lynn in the movie Coal Miner's Daughter, and she was also Carrie. And she said, "One day it just dawned on me. I'm from Texas, and that's what I am." Here's a funny quote from a Texan. It's from singer Kelly Clarkson from Burleson. "In Texas, we practically come out of the womb wearing jeans." Well, this week it was a look at some things that happened in Texas in 1941. A roadside attraction. Ghosts aboard the U.S.S. Lexington. Speaking of 1941, I'm sure many of them had enlisted after the attack on Pearl Harbor. A.J. Foyt, a Texas sports legend, and getting caught looking in my grandmother's purse. Saturday is Armed Forces Day here in the U.S. I have a family who have members who have served. I also have a family member who is currently serving in the U.S. Army. And we thank him and all those who have served and who have served. Anyway, be sure to hit the download button, leave a like and a rating, and a follow and subscribe on whichever platform you listen to. It's available on most platforms, including Spreaker, Spotify, iHeart, and more. You can also check out the website. It's at onpodium.com at highways-and-byways.onpodium.com. My name is Chris Carlisle. I'm the host, producer, and writer for this podcast. And I want to thank you for listening.